All right. Hello, everyone. This is Deborah with Talk Your Talk. We are about 2 minutes early. I want you all to come on in, start sharing, start sharing. I see people already coming in, start sharing. We're going to play some little soft music. I want you all to, as you all start to come in, just take deep breaths. It is almost 7 o'clock. You've been busy today. Your mind has been extremely busy. So I'm playing like some slow meditation type music for you to just kind of wind down a little bit. I want you to wind down and kind of get ready for what we have in store for you all in 2 minutes. So follow, like, and share. You all will see that we will be viewing from 3 different platforms. Okay? That's going to be Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just type Talk Your Talk and you can stream. You can see us streaming live. If you can't find me, go to my pages, click on one link. Too easy. So you all keep coming in. I'm not going to introduce our guests until we start, okay? So I'm just going to give it another minute, and then we're going to get ready. All right, hope y'all still winding down. Follow, share. Please share. We are getting this page, Talk Your Talk page going, so share. Do not go on my personal page. Come here, right here, Talk Your Talk, right here, okay? All right. All right, y'all. So now that your minds are clear, your hearts are clear, we are ready to start. This is Deborah with Talk Your Talk. And today, hello, Miss Melissa. So today, what we are going to talk about is what is your role in your relationship? Now, before we start, I want to give a tip. I always like to just start out with tips. And today, after winding down and having a funeral, I want to remind you all the importance of pre-planning. I am not going into details. I'm going to keep giving you all tips until it's embedded in your heads that pre-planning is very important. It's for your loved ones. It's not for you. You're going to be gone, literally. Do not stress your loved ones out. I am seeing it more and more now. And families, you all should find that time to come closer together. Okay, that's the time to come closer together, not to separate. So pre-burial, find your next of kin, get your documents in the area, let your next of kin know where those documents are. So when you transition, they won't be looking for them. Okay. And if y'all do that, that's a tip for today. All right. Y'all, we have the Youngs. We have Rick and we have Shawnda. I am so pleased to have them come on. I couldn't have had a couple that agreed to do this, a better couple than them. Today, what they're going to do is they're going to become very intimate and personal with you all and let you all in on what is the role in their relationship. But we're going to take it back a little bit and just kind of ask them how they met. We're going to ask them, how did you know that you all was meant for each other, right? Because you think, and then when you get into a relationship, you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? How can I make this last? And then there's the roles, right? Who's in charge? Who's not in charge? Do we work together? Are we equally yoked? So without further ado, I want Rick, hey y'all, I want you all to introduce yourself. And from there, just kind of let us know how you all met and just kind of give us a groove of your relationship.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Deborah, for having us on.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I am Shawnda Young, and this is my amazing husband,
Rick Young.
I'm honored to do this. We will be very transparent, give you what you need, what you want to, what you need to nourish a relationship, to talk about roles, all the important stuff. Again, thank you. You were mentioning how we met.
Yes.
We met in the new age technology way of meeting online. I was on a dating site and I decided I'm getting off this dating site because there's a bunch of weirdos on here. And where did all these eligible men come from? Because they're not at the Walmart, because I was there yesterday. So they just showed up in my inbox, So I was like, I'm getting off this thing. And just before I was about to get off this particular dating site, I got a message from Mr. Young here. And I first thought, interesting. There are a lot of weirdos on here. That's what I thought to myself. So I just decided to reply. It was a really short reply. And that was the beginning of it all,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Rick, what was it about Shawnda that made you message her? Because I mean, I've never dated on the sites, but I'm not against it. I've never been against it, but I've never dated. I really don't know how it works. I know it's a lot of people that you have to look through, look at their profile. What made you click on the picture for Shawnda?
So basically, one thing was just the way she presented herself on there. She just presented herself as being open and honest and trustworthy. So that's what made me hit her up. And I was doing the same thing. And she, when she responded to me, I was like, okay, so there's some interest there. So let's get to know each other. Eventually, I think it was like a week or two. Then we went out on our first date. We went to a restaurant and she was laughing, or she was smiling the whole time. And when she excused herself to go to the bathroom, the waitress was over on the corner and she stopped her and she said, "So how long have you guys been dating? Because all I see is you smiling." And she responded with, "This was our first date." And the lady couldn't believe it. So.
Oh, look how big I'm smiling over here. Like I'm just picturing you all. Like I'm picturing the waitress looking at you all like, oh my gosh, what is he doing to her? Look, I'm smiling like I was there.
It was a good first date. I can say he didn't lie. I can say on dating sites, I'm sure ladies all know this. On dating sites, men tend to lie about a lot of stuff. Their height, particularly. I'm short. I'm 5'2". 5'1" and some change. So, anyways, so men tend to not be honest when it comes to their height. And that was one of the first things I checked when he did, I was like, let me see how tall this guy is. And it said he was 6'3" or whatever. And I was like, oh, he's probably really like 5'10", but we'll see. So that when we first met on our first date, that kind of got us going. When he got out of the car, I was like, oh, he didn't lie about his height, because he's definitely tall. So that was the first smile, just the honesty of not lying on that first date. But we had a great date, just great, honest conversation, real straightforward conversation on the very first date. Because when you're in our age range and you're dating, there's not a lot of time to be wasting on.
No, it's not.
Yes. Let's just be honest. I think we talked about children. We both had children. And I'm going to be honest, ladies, my very first question to him was, so are you taking care of your children? Are you paying child support? Because I wanted to be sure that he was taking care of what was his, because how are you going to wine and dine me if you're not taking care of home?
Wow.
Yes. And he was very honest about that. I think he was shocked. Were you shocked by that question?
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't ask. Some don't want to know, and some aren't ready for, as they say, a blended family, right? Some women are okay with bringing their children in, but may be a little hesitant because they don't know what comes with it. So, but the maturity level in you, a lot of people aren't mature. So the maturity level in you, in knowing what you wanted to ask, and him being open, because some men lie. Some men lie, say, I don't have kids, or they just make up things because they think that's a turnoff for the woman. So good for you all to even have that conversation in the beginning. Now, He charmed you, of course, because look, we have Mr. and Mrs. Young now, right?
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
So he
Absolutely.
charmed you. I'm going to ask you this, and I'm asking you this as we lead into the roles. Interracial couple, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you know relationships before. Has it always been that you know, were open to dating people outside of your race?
I want me to lead that.
Mhm.
Okay. So for me, I never had a problem with it with other people doing it. Never really judged anyone or said, "Oh, I wonder what that's like" or anything like that. My sister was involved with an interracial relationship for many years. Just never even thought about it. But when it came to myself, I was hesitant in the beginning. My
Okay.
very first thought was, um, I don't want to be his experiment. You know, like what do you
Mhm.
want in a black woman? Like we're a different breed of lady. And since I didn't know him, I didn't know if it was just something he was jumping ship from one ship to another kind of thing. I didn't know what he really liked. And it was hesitant. I was very hesitant. I actually had a conversation with a couple of my girlfriends about it, and I had a conversation with my mother about it. And my mother really said, you know, if you like him, there is no dating him in the dark. So it is not fair to him. It is not fair to you. You're going to do this or you're not. And at that point, it was like, you know what? I don't care what the rest of the world thinks.
Right.
It really is not about, I wasn't attracted to him because he was white. I was attracted to him because he was tall. So and he just happened to be white. But that was my eye opener. My mom really opened my eyes and said, you know what, this is something you're just going to have to deal with, you know. And if you're not going to deal with it, you have to let him go because it's not right.
Mm.
Mhm.
What about you, Rick? What was it for you? Have you always dated women
As far
outside
as
of your
me, it's been yes, ma'am. Yes.
He's always like cocoa butter.
always? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was about to say what once you go, but you know I'm not even going to go there, right? But the proof is in the pudding, right?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Now I've heard women say things like, you know what, if this don't work in my relationship, I am dating a white man because he has money, he know how to treat a woman, and our men, you know, their ego, they don't understand us. They think that we're angry black women, and so because of that, a lot of I've spoke to a lot of women. They go outside of their race and they say, you know what, I want somebody to treat me this way. And on the other hand, some women say, well, you kind of teach a man how to treat you. That creates, you know, that's another conversation. But I've heard African American women say, when I date a Caucasian male, it's different. And it chooses me to, it causes me to be different, where I can be myself more, I can be open. They cater to me, they do things that the other, you know, that the brother doesn't do. And I'm not talking about just overall, I'm just saying y'all in a general statement, okay? So with that being said, Shawnda, can you give me your experience from past relationships to now?
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. I've always dated African American men. I've never discriminated against either side. I don't. I won't say. I will say it makes you open your mind. It really makes
Mm,
you open your mind. It makes you see the world differently as well. It truly brings another dynamic to your space. You can't help that. That is just what it is because you come from different backgrounds. The culture is different. It is what it is. That's true facts. The culture is different. There's things that he's taught me that I wasn't aware of, and there's things, you know, that we can have honest conversations about. It just opens your mind. He does treat me like a queen, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's because he's white that he treats me like a queen. Maybe a brother would have treated me like a queen. I'm not going to say that my ex didn't have his moments when he did. the thing about it is I prayed for him.
Mm.
I prayed, it's important that you pray for what you want. And
Mm.
I'm going to say you should be very specific. I used to pray every morning in the shower. That's when I would pray, because that was my quiet time. And I would say, Lord, I would love a man to treat me the way I want to treat him, to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. I want to bring just as much to the table as he brings. I want to offer him all of me, because I want all of him. I want us to be in this 100%, not a 50-50, not a whatever. I just want this to be all in. I prayed for him to be tall. I prayed for him to be funny. I prayed for all these things. When I say be specific, I never said, Lord, make him black.
Right.
So I had that conversation with the Lord too. The Lord has a sense of humor. So, but he is everything I truly prayed for, right down to let's, make him so when we do have disagreements, we're not going for the jugular. So we have disagreements, we're going to disagree, and we can disagree with maturity. Yes. So I don't think it's because he's white. I think it's because as a woman, I know what I'm worth, what I bring to the table, and I give him what I expect to be given to me.
I like that. That is you couldn't have put it even like even more perfect than that. Seriously, because you didn't see in the color. You looked at how you wanted to be treated, and that's what you asked God for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That
and because of that, this is what you have.
Right.
And I think when we get out of the things about the generation, and I get about things that happen in our past, and trying to stay within a certain race because of people beliefs, and it's because of people beliefs and their ideas and what they feel, and that's okay for you, but at the same time personalize it and don't make it about the world of everyone else. So I'm glad that you answered and gave that in a perspective of it doesn't matter what race he was. I asked for this, and this is what I got. So thank you for that. You mentioned something about 50-50. Now we're going to go into the roles. I want you all to tell, before we talk about what is the roles, traditional roles with a man and a woman in a relationship versus now. So kind of give us some feedback about, not feedback, give us the background of what you do, Shawnda, and Rick, what do you do in your profession?
Oh, okay. So prior Army, and basically now I work for a government contractor.
Awesome. Thank you for serving.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I've been there for going on 17 years.
Oh, that's good. Oh, you're locked in.
Yeah.
You're locked in. You don't have to worry about anything. It's the act of Congress to get rid of you. You are locked in. Good for you. Contracting. That's good. Yeah. What about you, Shawnda?
That's something I prayed for too. Lord, let him be stable.
Yes. Yes. Security and stability.
Yes, those were things that came out of my mouth that I needed and I wanted in a relationship. Well, when I first met Rick, I was at the beginning of my journey into real estate. I actually was working for another agent as her assistant, which was going well. And then after a few years of working with that agent, I decided, you know what, I can do this on my own.
Good for you.
I can get out there. I've learned the ropes. I can do this. And I literally went to my husband and I said, I can do this. I'm not quite sure how, but I can do this. I just need to take the first step, which meant that I was going to walk away from a position that was paying me a paycheck every week.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what you were getting every week. You knew what bills you could pay every week because this was your income. It was very stable, but I knew there was more. So I said to him, I can do this. So I was going from that to, I have no idea when I'm going to get paid.
Yeah.
So he basically said to me, I will hold it down here. I will pay these bills. I will make sure the kids eat. I will make sure a roof stays over our head. And it was some difficult times. You go out there, you go to school, you get your realtor license, you drum up your business. And he's been beside me for every step of this. As far as driving me around to appointments and doing whatever I need. He's always
Wow.
been there. So he held it down while I went out there and I built my business as a realtor and a transaction coordinator. I have two streams of income under one umbrella with Young Professional Real Estate Services. That's my business. That's what I own now.
Yes.
Very proud of that. We still have a long way to go, but it has definitely changed our life, and what we're able to do. And he basically held me down while I went out there and did my thing. He made sure we didn't starve while I was out there becoming an entrepreneur.
Well, for you, and that's good, because for you all to be able to have that conversation, you know, some people fear to go to their significant other or their spouse or their partner and ask, you know, because they're afraid of what they may say.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, that is the case for some, or some don't have that loved one that can say, you know what, I'll hold it down for you. But for you to go to him and he said, look, I have it. That's the sacrifice and the compromise, right, in a relationship. And even you asking him at some point, did you feel any guilt, like, man, should I just go back to the job? Am I putting too much on him? Is this right? Like, why did I make this decision? At any point did you get to the point where you wanted to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I'll just go back and do it. Thank you for holding me down. Did y'all have that conversation?
So there was times that she wanted to quit. And I told her, I said, look, we just have to take either baby steps or just put one foot in front of the other is what she has to do in order to make this, make it to where she wanted to go. And right now that's the same thing. She's still moving forward. She's constantly moving forward. So it's not one of those things that being content where you're at. It's okay, I got my business. Now where are we going
What's
from
next?
this?
Yeah.
So that's why I stand, sometimes I stand behind her and I just push. So
Literally, like literally push her, right?
Literally push, right. So that she knows that somebody's there to catch her when if she tries to fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we had ramen noodle nights and breakfast for dinner nights because, you know, you don't sell a house in a few months, and I didn't have that secondary income coming in. You know, we kept the roof over our head. Nobody was unclothed, but we made it. You know, we made it through that. And if you just, I mean, to have him have my back, and I'm the same way with him. I feel like it's you know, it's his turn. He can move up the ladder even more in his position now. Time to go to school. So we're in that conversation right now. I'm thinking about going to school. He's thinking about going to school. If he needs to go first, I will hold it down. You do your thing at night. He does things like cook dinner because I'm still out with clients, or I'm on the phone, or I'm stuck in that office doing things. So he takes those roles, leading in, of course, like we're talking about.
Oh yeah, you move right into it. So that was a great segue, like a great. Shawnda, how you do that? Like you just you can be on the other side of the screen, Shawnda, and just come ask me, take over the podcast. You put it right there. No. That's good. That's good. So the traditional roles is what? The woman stay with the kids, cook, and the man makes the money. I know back in the day, you know, that the man would bring the check in and give it to the woman. They pay the bills. And that was some households, right? And then some is, hey, just send the money over. I work, you take care of everything. And then, but the food is ready. Food in the microwave. When they come, they, you know, make sure they eat. But things are different now. When research shows that women are really doing their thing, and making the money, right? We're out here. I mean, go women. Like really, we are really doing our thing. Yes. And because of that, it's a struggle for some men, right? The man has to cook, go pick up the kids from daycare, right? Come back and help with the homework, do the laundry,
yes,
clean up, right? So how do you all juggle your roles? Did you all sit down and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. You know, this week you're going to do this. How did you all come up with your roles? And has it been difficult at times where you all just wanted to say, you know what, I can't do this? I can't. This is too much for me. I'm working really hard. I come home. There's no food on the table. Give me the good and kind of give me the bad.
Okay. Do you want to go?
So she works. Of course, real estate hours have no hours, or realtors have no hours. So I'll come home, and if I get home 5:30, 6 o'clock, and dinner's not ready because she's in the office, then I already know that, okay, I need to cook. Um, it's one of those things, we talked about it. It's not a 50-50 role. It's 100-100. So somehow we got to get to 200. So if she's busy working and I come home and she can't do, if she can't cook, then I'll cook to make that percentage go up. So I'll fill in for where she's lacking at the time, and vice versa. So some
Let me,
nights,
hold on. I got to stop you right there. Wait a minute. So, Rick, there hasn't been a time that you walked in, because I know sometimes Shawnda may go out and then sometimes she works in her office from home, right?
right?
There hasn't been a time, and I might get you in trouble. I see Shawnda like
No, he's
smirking
all
and her eyes
right. I
going up.
want him to be
Look,
honest.
okay. Have there been a time where you're like, I know she couldn't have gotten up from their office table, threw some food in the pan, walked back, and then kept checking on the food? Like, why when I come home, I don't smell nothing cooking when I come in the house? Have that like thought seeped in your mind? You want to say, look, woman, can you just go do something and go back to the office?
There might have been a time or two like that, but majority of the time I walk in the office and she's in the laptop, like, okay, running numbers on the phone. It's a busy day. So if I know it's a busy day, then I know I'll stop by the grocery store and pick up something to eat, so I can throw something either in the stove or out on the grill or something like that.
And I feel guilty as a wife. I do. There's plenty of times I have said to him, I got to work on being a better wife. Yeah, the house is clean because I have like a routine in the morning, but sometimes the routine kind of gets away from me. And
tell us your routine. I like your routine. Tell us your routine. That can help some of the women out here who stay busy. I mean, y'all have Shawnda, who's a realtor. Tell us your routine.
Well, I can tell you, in the morning when I wake up, I have my conversation with the man upstairs. Just talk to him just like I'm talking to y'all right now. Hey, I got a busy day today. I'm gonna need you to help me. But one thing that helps me get through the stress of my day, and I have some days where I am beat down. I let nothing, and I mean nothing, interrupt my exercise time. That is my time. That is Shawnda's time. That is time where I decompress. If the phone is ringing, real estate can wait. My family knows don't call me unless something is really going on. And when I do get calls during the time when I answer, you hear me running. I'm a runner. So you can hear me. My mom has called plenty of times. Oh, you out there running at a dismal swamp with the bears. I just want to make sure nothing ate you. So she calls me the same time. And like, she knows I'm out there running, but that's how I decompress. I have to exercise. That is part of who I am.
Right.
It does not come free from me. So after I'm done with my exercise, I come home and I get to work. Sometimes I might drop a few emails before I head out to run or get on my Peloton or whatever. But that's how I handle the stress of the day. You have to make that a priority. You have to make yourself a priority. That's my self-care. That's my priority. So I do feel guilty sometimes though, because I do take that time for myself and I don't always get in the kitchen. The laundry might be clean, but it's in the basket. He might go to his drawer and be like, "Hey, I ain't got no underwear. They clean. They downstairs. They in the laundry room. We gotta go get it." But it's there. So I think our roles truly change with the dynamic of our relationship. They change from time to time. They change when need be. They change when necessary. So if he needs to do the cooking and the cleaning and all that kind of stuff, he does. And there has been times where he's at work and I'm under the hood of my car. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm out there checking the oil. Oh, the air, the tire needs air. I don't wait for him to come home to take care of that. I handle that kind of stuff on my own. Oh, we need coolant in there because the coolant is low, whatever. I handle those things. I don't necessarily wait for him to come home. And if I
Oh,
can't do
y'all roles are really interchangeable. Like,
yes,
yeah, you are a Jeep girl too. You know, you like to
yes.
ride the Jeeps and your bike, but you, you have some women say, "I'm not getting my nails dirty at all." Some women won't even take the trash can to the road. Some women won't. You know the. I mean, is we got somebody to say because I'm going to get to the comments, but I have to say this one. Tim Core said, "I believe in 100 too, but I'm still old school. Sometimes you better act like Earlene used to and do these women duties." So people still like no matter what, they want the duties. As we continue to talk, I want you all to put some of the comments of what are your roles are so we can kind of give you some feedback on yours too and read some of your comments. But you all roles are very interchangeable. You go out. I don't even know how to change a tire. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that, but I don't know how to change a tire. Like literally, if I don't call roadside assistance, I'm literally going to sit on the side of the road for
Well,
real.
if I have to, I have to. I mean, I'd rather call roadside assistance. He makes sure I have roadside assistance. However, but if I need to get out there and do, I have no problem at getting underneath the hood and finding out, what's going on. And it just, he prefers to do that. I could have done that when I got home. But sometimes I'm impatient too. I'm like, I don't have time to wait for you to come home to put coolant in the car. I can put the coolant in the car. I know how to read, so
And Rick, how does that make you feel, Rick, when Shawnda does some things that you feel like the man should do? How does that make you feel?
Well, actually, I just tell her, I could have done that when I got home.
It's done.
But it's done. So it's like, okay, well, next time you need to call me and let me know, and I'll come home and do it. So there's
Do
been
you respect what he says? Do you respect that? Because again, you got to think, even though a woman would try to do the things to help out, it's some things that a man just want to do. They don't want their woman to do it, period, because it kind of takes away from the masculinity, right? It takes away from how they feel like they want to protect their woman. So because I'm good for that. I'm saying, no, I got it. But sometimes we have to stop and say, you know what? All right, that's yours. You're right. Now that is truly your lane. I'll let you stay there. Right. Do you respect that and stop, or do you continue to do it?
I definitely absolutely respect his boundaries. So listen, the truth of the matter is, if he says to me, you know what, Shawnda, I need to handle this. Here's the deal. I trust him to lead me.
Okay.
A lot of women do things because they don't trust their man to lead.
Repeat that, Shawnda.
A lot of women do things because they don't trust their men to lead them. I do things as a helpmate for him. So if he says to me, like, this is the boundary, woman, I got this, I can handle this, then I respect that. And if he says we're going in this direction, I trust him to lead me in the right direction. And and I trust if he feels like, you know what, maybe I'm not so sure about this direction, he will come to me. We will have a conversation about the direction we're going in. Communication for us is everything. When we talk about everything from our blended family to, anything you can possibly think of, we discuss it, because that's just stuff I've learned from my previous, relationships. If you're not communicating, what do you have? You have nothing. Even when it's hard to communicate, when the communication is hard, when we got to talk about things we don't want to talk about. Once we get through it, I tell him all the time, I could live in a cardboard box as long as he is in there with me. As long as we are pushing through to the next level. If we lose everything and fall flat on our face, it's my ride or die. We getting up together for that. And that's truly how. There's nothing I can't face in a day, because I know he's got me. I got him. So that's just the way. And I know that sounds very cliche and very.
No, it doesn't. No, Shawnda, that does not sound cliche. Shawnda, actually, when other women see this, they're going to say, wow, I wish I had that. Because some people become comfortable in their relationships. Some people don't want change. No, some people want change, but afraid of change.
Of course, because it's not easy when it's even bad relationships are familiar relationships, and people don't like to change. Changes. I know I've been to the bottom of the barrel, and he was my prayer out. The only thing I put before my husband is God, not even my children. come before him.
That's Bible. That's Bible right there, right? People say, "Oh, my
That's my
kids come."
grandma.
That's Bible. Even kids, say, no. That's Bible. Once you are married, your husband, your spouse, that's number one. Oh my God. I mean, I'm just about to tell you how much I love y'all, but I'll wait. Hold on. Darian Tippin says sometimes 100% has to be maximum effort in a certain area where the other may not have 100%. They may only have 20%. Support the home. That's a good point, because again, when you said I'm his helpmate, I'm not doing it because he can't do it for me. I'm doing it because maybe at that time he only has 60% to give.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm going to give that 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I like how you said it's 200. It's not 100. It's not 50-50. It's 100-100.
Right.
So I think I love that mentality, because when we think of 50-50, that's all you have. But if you got 100-100, that's 200. That means you got that maximum effort. And so your maximum effort is 200.
Right.
And so I like the way you all put that, because you always hear 50-50. You always hear that. So Darren, you are right. You have to support the home, because if you don't support the home, your home's supposed to be when you come from out there, when you come into your castle, that's yours. That's supposed to be your sacred place. That's supposed to be your comfort. And if that's not where your comfort is, that's why people run. They stay outside of the house.
That's right.
They don't like to be there with their significant other, because they don't know how to be there with them. Right? They don't.
Yeah.
And so, you all just clearly, and I've seen it myself. I witnessed it myself, how you all communicate, how you all, just compliment each other, truly.
But
And
it's only because we had to learn from the lessons, that those times where we did not communicate. And if I can roll back just a little bit, Deborah, when I know a lot of people are like, what do you mean? I have children from another marriage. He has children for another marriage. When I mean we don't put our children before our relationship, our children are all grown. We have one left in the house. So our children are living their lives. We expect them to enjoy and put 100% into their relationships. They're all in relationships with other people.
Okay.
We expect them to put 100% into their relationships. We focus on our relationship, because when they're out there doing their lives, what are we supposed to be doing?
Right.
We want to show them that this is how it's done. And it took us some time to get here. This did not come overnight. This came with many, many mistakes. Previous, relationships and things like that. But if you don't learn the lessons, you are doomed to repeat them. So you just have to one foot in front of the other. And we're not perfect. We have disagreements, but they're just different kind of disagreements. It's the ability to say, I'm sorry, or I was wrong, is huge. I can remember the very first time he apologized. I didn't even know what to say, because I had never had anybody do it before.
Wow.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, am I not supposed to be mad anymore?
Wow.
I'm not sure. I didn't know what to do. I come from a background of very strong women. I was always taught independence. You don't need a man. You don't need a man. You don't need a man. I wasn't taught how to be submissive. And how to make relationship work. I just had to learn in the world. So I'm hoping my daughter and my stepdaughters can learn some things by watching, what their parents and things go through, so they don't have to repeat the same fate.
Yeah. And you said something a few times, Shawnda and Rick. You took your past relationships and you learned from them, right? I think a lot of problems come into relationships where people bring baggage. And that's natural. It comes. The baggage is not literally, it's the baggage here.
That's right.
Right? And so psychologically, you have to be able to process those things. And if you don't know how to process, because again, some of us are not taught what to do. We take our lessons, and either they're going to make us or they're going to break us. And fortunately for your situation, you took those lessons. So you know what? I don't want to repeat that cycle. I want to be different. I am willing to be submissive. I am willing to learn. I am willing to be vulnerable. Some people do not know how to do that, or they're afraid, because if I show my vulnerability, this person would do the exact same thing to me that was done to me in my previous relationship. And that hurt a lot of relationships. A lot of times we create our own problems within our relationships. Okay. And that's not just romantic, it's friendships, it's work relationships. And so if you can create this type of safe atmosphere that you all have created in your homes from having previous relationships, if you all can create that in your home, you can create that anywhere. Anywhere. Right? And so the roles of you all right now, Rick, sometimes Shawnda, as a realtor, she might bring in 20,000 a month, right? She might bring in 20,000, and with her bringing in 20,000, she probably say, you know what, don't worry about it, I got this, or I'll take this month, or don't worry about this, or I'll pay this. What is your response? Do you always want to be the worst that person that does more than she does, or do you all have a balance with that based on both of you all's income?
So basically, we have a balance, because what's mine is ours and what's hers is ours. So it's not a hers and or hers and his. It's more of a what we bring in together, because one way or another, we both sold a house.
Woo!
Either so I call myself her Uber driver. So on the weekends, if she's showing houses, I'm driving her to show houses. I'm not gonna especially if it's like a new client or something like that. But so I'll drive her, I'll spend the time with her, because we only have the time when I'm off work till we go to bed, and on the weekends. So if we're out doing our own thing, that eats into our time. So I try to make sure that we have our time together. And if it's just by driving down the street to show a house, then it is what it is. But to answer your question, it's ours. We combine our income together, and if we got it together, we got it.
Yeah. And when I make a commission, it's truly our commission. I don't hide anything. It's never an I. It's we did this thing together, and that's just what it is. It's been that way since the beginning. That's my vulnerability, because finances for me, because I've been to the bottom of a barrel, was very hard. But again, he's made me feel safe in that aspect. You know, he hasn't led me astray. So I have no problem. My business bank account, he has access. He has access. If I leave this world today, he has access to that, because there's nothing to hide. We are truly, if we don't have it, we don't have it together. We're figuring out how to get it. You know what I mean? So whether that's going to be selling the house, or that's going to be a Bonnie and Clyde move, whatever it takes, we truly do ride or die this thing together. So
my God, this is so cute. It really is.
Well, people always ask me, "Are you as happy as you seem on Facebook?" I am. I truly am. But Deborah, when I tell you, it is not because I haven't paid my dues, and because I never ever forget how I got here. Sometimes I have to remind myself, who helped me get here. The Lord helped me get here. I have to make sure I give him his praise, because I couldn't do it without him. And I pray for him all the time. And I don't even know if he knows how much I do pray. I'm thankful. I thank God for him all the time. Thank you, Lord. And I cherish whatever time, because as you said in the beginning, things happen and we have it set up. So if something happened to either one of us, neither one of us have to start all over. So if I go away from here, he'll be fine. And if he goes, I'll be fine financially, so we need that being the case. And that's important for couples, people. We have to make sure that, like you said, we leave something. We talk about the hard stuff. And it's not always perfect. It can get just downright dirty and ugly sometimes. but we talk about it, and we're in the mud together, truly.
And to piggyback on that is, she says each of us will be fine financially. Each of us will be fine financially and emotionally because we have a support system in place that family, friends, the whole nine, that if something was to happen to one of us, God forbid, that there's family, friends that'll step up and make sure that we're okay.
That support system is big.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, how you impact people. You know, you want to, when you leave here, it's not about what you have, what house, what car. It's about how you treated people, how you impacted upon people.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Deborah Johnson Craig said they are truly an awesome couple. Love you both. I mean, you have people that's coming up here, you know, to give your flowers because some people would expect a lot of negativity, right? Some people would expect a lot of the bad things. But I'm glad that you all are showing that no, we truly are here for each other. You said when we're in the mud together, we're going to be in this cardboard box together. And society takes a hold of relationships. Um, People allow negativity in their minds, right? And I'm just going a little personal here for me, and Miss Melissa is up here, where you know I talked to her a lot about things with my relationship with God, and one thing I remember is my aunt, who's a prayer warrior, told me no matter what, always keep God. Like that third person, when you all are together, make sure you keep God, because if he's not in the midst of it,
You have
then that's where the imbalance come, right?
Yep.
And so for me, I like when you said I pray for him a lot. I pray for him, right? I don't think he know how much I pray for him. And for me, I have to get stronger with that because y'all, I stay so busy where I feel like I do intermittent praying. Like I pray
And
while
that's
I'm on the
okay.
go.
It's praying. It don't. I don't. I think Miss Melissa maybe can chime in, but I don't think there's a specific. As long as you have a conversation with them, that's just me personally.
Right. But I think for me, it's like I need to pray more when it's all good versus when it's not all good, right?
Understood. That's true.
That's for me. That's for me. I mean, yeah, I pray, for me and at nighttime, but I'm talking about, through the day I thank him and everything. But Melissa said prayer is the key and faith unlocks the door. It's the
Yeah.
faith. That's it. It's the faith. So I clearly see that you all have it in yours. I clearly, and for me, my interaction with you all, I have never, Rick is just always so laid back. He's so cool, calm, and collective. I don't even know, Rick, do you argue?
Not really. Not really.
He
Just because I know I won't win.
He does not like to argue, but when something is not right, or he it is known. I don't have to guess at anything, and I respect him. But while we're talking about all of this, I also want to just insert this one thing. I know we talk about together. One important thing about a relationship for me is also your individuality. You have to be your own person. We do have our times where we go do things without each other and enjoy the company of our friends, my girlfriends, his homies, homeboys, whatever he hangs out with. And when we come back together, we can giggle and laugh and talk about, how much fun we had, or I'm calling him to say I'm on my way home, or he's on his way home. So you have to have that individual time as well. You do need, you need that. You need your girlfriends, and because
of course,
you need that talk. But the people you surround yourself with also help nurture this relationship.
Yes.
And vice versa. I hope that I help my girlfriends nurture their relationships, so it's important who you surround yourself, with. It's very, very important.
That's true.
A lot of people think we're not the real deal, but I'm telling you, it's real. I always say it's as close to a fairy tale as you can get on earth is not perfection, but I will take every imperfection that we have.
Mm.
It's good. It's really good, and I'm really grateful. Sometimes I'm fearful, and that's the devil that, what's going to shake the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
Well, the fear is, the devil's technique. That's what he uses. So I am afraid of, okay, so what's going to shake this world? But on the other end, I have the faith that, regardless of what it is, whatever time that I've been allowed to have him in my life, it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's with the upbringing too. Rick, as far as like your parents, with both of your parents in your life.
So I have my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad raised me to be who I am,
Mm.
and how to treat women and stuff like that. So and one thing that got me was when I was a little kid and they started dating. He came to the house and my mom hadn't got off work yet, and he's like, "Are you hungry?" And he took me to go get something to eat before my mom came home. Just to he didn't like say, "Oh, I can't talk to her because she got 3 kids." He took in my mom and 3 kids. Uh,
Wow.
so when our blended family came in, it was I already knew how to treat everybody in the family. So
Wow.
yeah.
I always say that I never had the pleasure of meeting his stepfather because he had passed before we met, just
Mm.
before we met, I
Mhm.
believe. However, I've even thanked him because I believe as a step parent, he taught Rick how to be a step parent. And my children have a beautiful relationship with Rick, which he nurtured all on his own. I didn't have to force it. It just, he sat them down, he had the conversation, and now they call him. They don't even call me. They have their own relationship with Trey calls him step pops and Taylor calls him dad. So they
Mm.
own relationship with him. I don't have to even be involved. So that is the beauty, and that's the beauty of a blended family. But blended families are what they are. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but again, we try to stay focused on our positivity. We try not to let um, the stuff that doesn't work affect
Yeah.
our relationship, and we always pray that eventually that dynamic will change, that things
Yeah.
will get better with our other 2 children.
And that goes back to roles. You all are juggling many roles here, right? So blended families, it's not easy for a lot of people, the acceptance part of it, but you all have that like in the bag. The role of, all right, so you are a realtor making good money, great money, and then Rick, you are, ex-military veteran, and you're also a contractor, great money, right? But the roles of what you all do to complement each other. Before we end, because we have 7 minutes, I want people to kind of understand, that's just coming on, understand what are your roles. So traditional roles, what the woman does and what the man does. What are your roles in your relationship?
Want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think we have traditional roles. If I go back to what we talked about previously, our roles in this relationship change based on need. So
Okay.
they change based on the dynamic of our relationship or the situation. We don't necessarily have that hardcore traditional role where I'm in the kitchen cooking and he's bringing home, the paycheck. We have the roles that change as need be. I am sometimes the wife who makes sure that the laundry's all done, the bed is made, and he has dinner and breakfast. And there's other times I am the wife that's out making the money, and he is the one doing the laundry and making sure dinner is made, or taking the kids to the movies because they need family time, which I haven't been able to give. His job is a lot more stable.
Oh, okay.
When I mean the 9 to 5, he has his business hours, and then he can spend the weekends doing what he needs. Weekends for me are just another business day, but I do carve out the necessary time. I've learned that it's important to carve out the necessary time to nurture our relationship, to travel, to spend time with the kids and that sort of thing. So I don't think we have traditional roles, but what are your thoughts?
I think it's just the day and time that we're in now is there's more women out there that are out there outside of the house. So
Yeah.
it's not one of these things that, oh, the woman stays home and the man goes out to work and he's home to paycheck.
Yeah.
It's more of a, no, the women want to be out and actually have a work job in the workforce. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think maybe 50 years ago, it was,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't just go back 50 years, but I think just now the day and time is more of a, women want to be out in the workforce and bring home a check too. And there's a even playing field there. So it's where we bring home whatever we make and we spend it together.
Right.
So it's not one of those things that it's hers. So and she has a budget. So
which is good.
Yeah.
Good. You have to have a budget.
Yeah.
Or you'll splurge. And you know, with the real estate, big money come in, and sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I can make that again next month, and you find yourself overspending, right?
Yes,
Trust me, I know, right? You'll look and you'll say, hold on, I made this much, and what happened?
Exactly. We have been there. We're like, what that Jeep happened you wanted, you know?
But at the same time, you got to step back and say, you know what? But I made it. Like, right? I worked for it. Why not? It's okay. I can splurge a little bit. It's okay.
And it's a mutual thing. So
yeah,
splurge together. So.
Yeah, we definitely have those moments where we splurge together and we sit back and we're like, dang, what happened? What did we do? Well, you needed those Air Force Ones, but you got 6 pair already. You know, that's, you know, or now he wants a truck, you know, so that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just as much as he, you know, a man will say, I want to give my woman the world. As his woman, I want to give him the world. So, you know, we talk about that. We're just now talking. I have all the stuff that I wanted: the Jeep, the Mustang, the motorcycle. He supported me through all of that. He's not into the materialistic things the way I am.
Hold on, son, you got to stop. You have to tell them about what's your bucket list.
Oh gosh, which one?
No, like he sent you to what is it, a race, like a NASCAR or something?
Oh, yes, that was yes. I bought the Mustang because I wanted a race car. So I woke up one morning, I was like, babe, he had a Mustang, and I was like, I want a Mustang too. But I want a fast one. I want a souped up one. We did it, and then I love Bubba Wallace. He's the only one in NASCAR I really know, and I wanted to go to a NASCAR race. And he made the last one we went to, he made sure I was able to experience the best NASCAR experience that it was great. It was really great. I mean, in the pit, what do you call it? The pit, Bubba Wallace's pit. Make sure I could, you know, wear the headphones and hear his pit crew.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was really awesome. It was really awesome. So he allows me to do my bucket list. His bucket list was the Cane Corso. That was
yes, and Tupac.
Yes, that was his bucket list.
Yeah, but y'all Shawnda surprised Rick with Tupac. They call it Pop, but guess what? Rick, who acts like that's their dog?
Pop, my boo. That baby.
She got
y'all. We bring Cane Corsos, and Shawnda fooled Rick, had Rick thinking that they came to see the dog. Rick kind of picked out the one he wanted, but Rick was following our videos for a while, and she kept saying, he keeps asking about that one. So she came back to look, and she told Rick, nah, you know what, we'll just wait. But when Christmas came, y'all, we came with the bow, and she surprised him. It was so sweet.
It was awesome. Now Tupac needs a truck, girl.
Yeah.
So now we got to get a truck because Tupac too big to ride in anything else.
He can ride in the Jeep.
He does ride in the Jeep. Sometimes he does ride in the Jeep every now and again, but he wants his own truck so him and Tupac can buy.
Yeah. That's
me
right.
And Tupac thing. You know, we put a little Jay-Z on or Jeezy, and me and Tupac, you know, we're in our zone.
Well, look, let me see. Okay, so Melissa Brown said that's so awesome. Darian Tippin said Slick Rick, love them too.
Love you,
Um,
Darian. Love the Tippins.
oh yes, they've been up here and left some comments. And Melissa said God has a way of turning all of what the devil meant for bad and turning for your good, replacing scars with joy and most of all peace.
Amen. Peace is,
Yes, yes,
yes. Let nothing disturb the peace. We will cut that off.
nothing.
Mhm.
Look, I want to thank you all. We have reached our time. I wanted to go in a little bit more and talk about how have egos affected your relationship, but we're not going to go there. We are at the time. I just want to say thank you all.
Thank
I
you.
thank you all for your peace. I thank you all for the willingness to come and talk about your relationship, because some people don't feel comfortable, and doing that shows that you are who you are, right?
Thank you.
It's nothing to hide. You're welcome, and you're okay with each other and each other responses, right? You don't have to tap anybody on the leg or look at the person or stomp their foot, and then
Oh
Right.
you don't
no,
have to do any of that. You don't have to feel that when you hang up after the call that you all are going to have a disagreement. I mean,
no. Right.
I mean, I took something away from this. I like that 100. I'm going 100. We 200 in this household now. Like,
Amen.
yeah, I like the 100. And I do pray, but I am going to pray more for my husband. I am. I
That,
am.
that
I,
makes
I,
me proud.
yes, yes. I really thank you all. I'm glad that you all are a part of our life, and how we met is through our children on a field trip.
Yeah.
And look how on a simple field trip that we went to support our babies, when they were in Deep Creek, like in middle school,
Elementary. Yes.
elementary
Now they're
school.
in high
Yeah,
school.
they're in
Yes.
high school. And our relationship, yes, we are Eastern Star sisters, of course, but we didn't even know that then, did we,
We
Shawnda?
didn't. No, we did not.
We
No.
didn't. And such a beautiful person, such a beautiful spirit. Oh my gosh. And Rick, I mean, just like when I'm around, the calmness, the demeanor, it doesn't surprise me why you all are who you are.
Well, we
It
appreciate
doesn't.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We appreciate the opportunity to share our story, and we appreciate you and Dre, because you guys influence us to be better. I don't know if you know that, but you do, and we're grateful for you guys too. So
Thank
thank you.
you.
Beautiful people in our lives. The Tippins being one of the couples that helped inspire us to become better. So,
Awesome.
yes, we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the
You
opportunity.
are who you keep around your
Yes.
company. That is very important. Very. So that's great that your circle also emulates what you all have.
Yes,
That
we
is
have great
that is
people. Yep.
yes. We're gonna end on this. I want you to I got to put this in for you, Shawnda. Tell them about your real estate, about what you do, how they can follow you. If y'all want to buy houses, sell your house, whatever. Tell them, Shawnda. Tell them where to follow
Oh,
you.
so please, if you're interested in buying, selling, you can reach me at 757-912-7963. I'm a realtor. I own Young Professional Real Estate Services. I'm a realtor with Swell Real Estate and on the Sinclair Plus 4 real estate team. So I do everything from military relocation to transaction coordinating work with buyers and sellers. Please, experience makes the difference. So if you have anybody interested, feel free to give me a call. You can follow my Facebook page, my personal page, or my Young Professional Real Estate page as well. So absolutely reach out, give me a call. It'd be my pleasure to help you.
She's awesome. She's really awesome. She's helping some of my referrals. And when we finish, go to my Facebook page and put your information on my page, okay? And tag your stuff so people can go to it. All right.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Deborah.
Hey,
Thank
Quita,
you.
you're welcome. Again, y'all, this is Deborah with Talk Your Talk on Thursdays, where you can decompress. You can sit back, pop your popcorn, drink your drinks, whatever, and we can talk. If you have any topics, let me know. I have over 100 topics where people have inboxed me. And so I thank you all for the support. I thank you all for aligning with my vision, because we just need to get it out of our minds, get it out, talk about it. So Talk Your Talk with Deborah. Stay tuned for the next topic coming next week. Now, July the 27th, I'm leaving to go out of town for Texas. So hopefully I land in time to do my podcast, because I like to come back and talk to you all. But if not, Self-care is everything, and I will let you all know. Y'all have a good night, the Youngs. Thank you
Good
all
night.
so
Thanks for having
much.
us. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.